Hey, what's up, everybody? How's it going out there? Thinker St. James here. It is The Ultimate Fighter, Season 33, Episode 8, Watch Along, and we are early. I am happy that that is the case. Just felt like jumping on even earlier than normal because I was awake for it, and why not? So how's it going? What's up out there, everybody? Looking forward to this episode of the show. We are finally going to get the epic showdown between these two Brazilian hotheads. So hopefully this is going to be something actually entertaining, because we have been watching this show for 8 episodes now, and I don't think a truly entertaining thing has happened just yet. So this is the episode. I believe in my heart of hearts that we are getting entertaining programming. I think we're getting entertaining programming tonight on this episode of the show. So happy to be here for it. Rick Allen, here early. Rick Allen is a dude who's rolling. He's like a desperado rolling into town searching for the bad guy or the sheriff or whatever. Sheriff Beeb, show yourself. Oh my God, what is up with you two dudes? You guys have turned this. I mean, I thought that it was Rick Allen versus John Dong in the chat, but no, apparently Rick Allen's ultimate rival is Beeb Muff now. What a meta we have going on in the chat. Oh, man. Well, hope you're doing well, Rick. Obviously, Beeb is living rent-free up in that noggin of yours all the way across the Canadian border. Speaking of news of other countries, did want to make a brief mention of something that Chase posted in the Discord just earlier. What was this dude's name again? He's a PFL fighter. So, yeah, there was apparently a PFL fighter who was had an attempted murder on him. PFL. He's the featherweight champion of the PFL, Timur Kisraev. Actually, I remember seeing Kisraev fight in the last PFL Champion Series. So yeah, Timur Kisraev shot 5 times in Makhachkala. Apparently alive and in surgery. So pretty crazy, man. There's video of it happening. I guess there was CCTV footage of this event. And pretty wild stuff. 2 guys, he's outside loading up a truck, I guess. Getting ready to get into his truck, or he's either unloading it or loading it up. Back of the truck is somewhat open, I think. And he's by the back of this truck, and a guy just rolls up on him and just shoots 1 time. Then a second guy rolls up and he also fires, but not after Kisraev takes down the first guy. So this dude, this is the situation, right? He's there, guy comes up, 1 shot. Kisraev takes that guy down. This dude with the gun's buddy, also with the gun, comes up, sees that Kisraev is having a tussle with the first guy, and then he shoots thereafter. But it looked like the second shooter might have shot the friend, possibly. So I don't know if that's the case. As Chase said, I hope it was, and I'm like, can't argue there. If you've got these wild motherfuckers just rolling up on people, shooting in open public like that. serious attempted murder situation. But hopefully Kisraev is okay. And it really does go to show that, A, anybody can get it anytime, anywhere, really. I mean, no one's truly safe out there. And B, it really takes a pretty galaxy brain individual to try to pull something like that off and then have to go wrestle with a fucking PFL champion, a champion MMA fighter. What a seriously smart individual that was. Sounds kind of similar to how I'm going to do You Thinker. Rick Allen, that is a very serious threat that you're making there. If it's going to be anything like that, you might want to reel that one back in. YouTube might have a problem with that type of rhetoric, just saying. Obviously, I know that you're just joking because, you're such a lighthearted individual, always joking, always full of fun in life. But I'm just saying, YouTube might not see it that way. So be careful with that kind of speak. Pretty crazy, though. Pretty wild. In other more lighthearted news, I have started to put product in my hair again. So the puff is being tamed a little bit. And I was skeptical as to whether or not it was going to actually shape into something that looked somewhat decent, but because of the style that I had it cut last time. But all things considered, I'm pretty happy with it. So let the hair go for just a little bit longer. I'm sure I'll be getting a cut at some point soon, but for right now, pretty okay with it. You didn't say anything explicit, bro. You got to read between the lines to get what you mean. Yeah, but I think that that's why they keep the TOS somewhat nebulous and not very specific, is because they want to be able to have catch-alls for implicit speech. Similar? Well, I mean, yeah, I think that the interpretation could still be there, Rick Allen. Just saying. I know that you're not serious about it. I know that you're just a jokey jokester. But just saying, be careful. Because if I was a scared white woman, I could be fearful for my life right now. We know that is how some people, even if they're not women, act on this platform. So I'm saying just be careful with how you conduct yourself. Anyway, what else is going on? Obviously, we've talked about Conor and his weightlifting. That was an interesting topic of discussion yesterday. Shout out to the entirety of MMA YouTube for getting videos out about that very quickly. Glad we talked about it on the podcast at least. The clip of that is doing pretty well on Twitter, so awesome to see that. What else is going on in the news? We didn't talk about it on the show, but BKFC has a $25 million tournament coming up, which is pretty crazy for an off organization. Chase and I talked about it off stream a little bit. And the question that we have is where is that money coming from? Because I mean, they've been doing pretty good. I know that Knucklemania did sell out the arena out there in Philadelphia. So obviously there's some money to be had at PFL. God, I keep saying PFL at BKFC. Excuse me. Obviously there's some money to be had at BKFC, but to equal up to $25 million as a purse, that's wild. That's not including all of the overhead for the production of the events, broadcasting, all that other kind of stuff. I don't know what their structure looks like at BKFC, but that's a lot of money in combat sports terms. So for one person, the winner of that tournament, so I think it's a 32-man tournament, the winner of that tournament getting $15 million. Wild. Alternates in that tournament getting $50,000, more than entry-level fighters make to show and win often in the UFC. So pretty crazy for that. We talked a little bit about Karate Combat's two-night tournament that they have coming up. I think is that this weekend? That might be in a couple of days. So we'll keep an eye out for that as well. A lot of interesting things going on outside the UFC right now. How are the dating apps going? Rick Allen, always curious about the dating apps. I have been too busy to be on the apps right now, brother. I am in the process of transitioning out of my current job, so I have had no time to do anything besides work on my projects and be on here a little bit. I have been a zombie for most of my life in the last couple of days. Like, I was, at the gig that I'm transitioning out of, I was at the our location today, getting our ends all buttoned up there, and I was a zombie. I felt terrible because I'm like, I feel like it signals to everybody that I'm just like checked out. And I mean, on the one hand, it's like, yeah, I am like looking on towards the next thing already to an extent, but I'm still trying to be good to the place that was good to me for many years, taking care of all of their needs as I transition out. So I'm not like out here trying to like just go in there and slack, but like I was up so late last night just working on other stuff, and then going in today, having to wake up early today. I woke up before the alarm. Like, that was really bad. I'm going to sleep very late at night, not able to sleep very, very well right now just because I'm thinking about stuff, got a lot on my mind. And then to like wake up before the alarm, I'm like, bro, I didn't even get the full amount of sleep that I could have gotten. So I was dragging ass really bad today. Not a great day today, actually, to be perfectly honest with you. All things considered, there's just a couple of weird little things going on here and there, and interpersonal stuff that was a little annoying. But made it through. Obviously, everything's fine now, and I'm doing okay. But so it was just like I really got to get like everything all sorted out. Thankfully, the gig that I'm transitioning out of is very cool with everything that's going on, and I give them a lot of credit for that. I really appreciate that from them. Ever heard of melatonin? Yeah, I take melatonin every once in a while, but the problem with melatonin is that if I don't get, like, I have to take I have to commit to melatonin like way early in the evening. So if I'm even thinking about using melatonin, I need to make sure that I'm going to get like a solid 8 hours, which is very, very rare for me. I never sleep 8 hours. But because if I don't sleep all 8 hours with melatonin, I wake up just like a serious grog situation. It's so bad. It's so bad with melatonin if I don't get the full 8 hours when I wake up that like I wouldn't even really be comfortable driving. I'd probably be a little bit like nervous, especially if I was driving in the morning with the way that I have to drive on the most dangerous highway in the United States every day that I go into the gig right now. Beeb, there he is. You were getting called out all kinds of different ways before you came on. Sean versus Israel 2 is confirmed. All right, there you go. There's some news. Good, I guess. I know that Israel Adesanya wants it. I think that this is I love that fight, actually, and I'll tell you why. I think that if Israel Adesanya has anything left in the tank as far as like the old Izzy goes, after what we've seen from Sean Strickland after their first fight, that is the exact fight that he has to be able to still win. You know what I mean? Like, if he's got any like flecks of his former greatness still in him, he has to be able to beat Sean Strickland current version. The version of Sean Strickland that beat Israel Adesanya in their first fight, I mean, I don't know. You could say that maybe it was just Izzy on the backslide. Sean's never really been that great, yada, yada. I mean, the first fight with Dricus was very close. But all of that being said, it's like, after what we've seen from Sean now, he is beatable by the prime Adesanya that we all came to know and love. So if there is any semblance of that old Adesanya left, he needs to be able to beat Sean Strickland now. So I like that fight. Damn, you really found the hot button trigger for Rick Allen, dude. I don't know why Rick lets this bother him so much, but Rick Allen typing in all caps whenever Beeb's around. Rick Allen came into the chat hot looking for you, Beeb. He was hunting you down, bro. Like I said, he rolled up into town like the bad guy in the Western. He's like, where's Beeb? Beeb Muff, show yourself in the town square. I think Izzy can beat Strickland, especially if he comes in the same way he did against Drekus. Yeah, I absolutely. That's what I'm saying. I think that the Izzy that lost to Sean was, I do think it was an off night. Now I think that even if it was an off night, he had more off nights thereafter. So, I mean, it was a beginning of like a little bit of a backslide for Izzy for sure. But that being said, I do think there's still more to Adesanya left. I don't think that he's like completely on the backslide. He's not pulling a Calvin Kattar on us, people. I tried to tell it to Chase on the podcast. I mean, during the course of the conversation, talking about it, saying like, there are just some fighters that happens. You go on that dreaded backslide, and it's too real. It consumes you. Calvin Kattar, I think, is a good example of that. Obviously, Tony Ferguson, a couple other guys can possibly come to mind in that scenario. They go on these really bad losing streaks. I thought that Derek Lewis was going to be one of those guys. I'm very glad to see that he wasn't. I'm glad to see he came out of it on the other side and got the wins back up. But you remember what I'm talking about with Derek Lewis. There was a time with Derek Lewis that he was like really looking like he was clocked out of the sport altogether. I mean, after that loss in Houston, I brought that up on the podcast. When he lost in his hometown, just like he crumbled in that fight. He folded. So, sometimes you see it with fighters. They just, it's fundamentally just a different version of who they become. I'm really glad to see that Volkanovski didn't have that situation. So I was very, I'm very conscious of that with some of these fighters, and we're just gonna have to see if Adesanya is really that guy when it comes to that element of the sport. Like, can he regroup? Can he bring himself back to a level of greatness that he once had? Because, I always have to stress when it comes to Adesanya, because there's so much weird shit with that dude. He's a little bit of a weirdo. I always have to stress that he is one of the greatest champions that we've seen in this sport. Feel like I'm talking about the same way with the Kamaru Usman, And look what happened with Kamaru Usman just recently. Everybody thought, at least, a lot of people thought that Joaquin Buckley was going to be able to walk right through him. Or at least not walk right through him necessarily, but at least like get over on him. And Kamaru showed that, he is still that guy. So Adesanya, I see a lot of comparisons there. Different styles, of course, but similar situation. Derek was finished 3 times in a row, 2 KOs and a sub from 2022 to 2023. Exactly, Beeb. You're confirming what I'm talking about here. And I didn't think, it was one of those situations. You see that kind of thing happen. And again, it's not only just taking losses. Wonder Boy, perfect example of this as well, right? He's 1 in 6 or something like that in his last 7. I mean, if it's not that, it's something like that. But you see fighters with records like this, and it's just like it's hard to think that they're ever going to be able to overcome that type of a backslide. Sometimes they do. Like I said, Volkanovski, a great example of being able to come back after a skid that looked like it could have been the beginning of a bad backslide, and came back and won that belt again. Another time that I was incorrect about how that was going to go, happily so. So we will see. But I do like that fight, so I'm glad that it is confirmed. And any time that I get to see Sean Strickland get his face punched, I'm a happy guy. You know me, not the biggest fan of Sean Strickland. All of his shenanigans. Sean Strickland is the definition of shenanigans. Him and his lady friend Nina Drama. Are they still as tight as they once were? Y'all see that meme that was going around of Sean Strickland saying that Nina Drama looks like she should be deported? Y'all see that clip of Sean Strickland being interviewed by Laura Sanko and all of the fucking really over the line shit that he said to her? Like, it's one, like, I mean, my thing with quote unquote edgy humor, right? Like, as a comedian here, like, I am very on board with off color humor. But what people don't seem to understand is that, like, if you're going to go that route, you have to be fucking clever. That's the problem with all of these edgelords when it comes to their quote-unquote jokes. Bro, it's just jokes. It's just jokes. You can't take a joke? Oh my God, this guy's got no sense of humor. Can't take a joke. I can absolutely take a joke if there's a joke to be taken. You're just saying blatantly foul shit with no punchline is not a joke. It's just foul shit. That's shocking for the sake of being shocking. Talking about Laura Sanko sleeping her way into her job is like, there's no punchline to it. That's Sean Strickland in a fucking nutshell. I'm going to say outlandish shit to rile people up, and then it's just that, oh man, I'm just telling it like it is. It's like, nah, dude, you're just a fucking cunt. You're just an asshole. So go fuck yourself. Like, why am I supposed to be listening to any of your shit? And then him, we were talking about this recently too. I forget when, but saying how, like, Sean Strickland is literally just an influencer. We were talking about that on the Tim Kennedy watch along, or the stream about Tim Kennedy, saying how Sean Strickland has this whole bullshit. He like camouflages. That's another thing. Like, Sean Strickland, I have a lot of opinions about Sean Strickland. Sean Strickland camouflages his real self a lot. Like, he puts up a false front, like, very, very strongly. Like, it's a very crafted false front that he puts forward. And one of the ways that he does that is by trying to get in front of his influencer status by saying how much he hates influencers. Oh, I hate influencers, you guys. Now these guys out here, they don't contribute anything. They're influencers they're terrible, you guys. I fucking hate these guys, you guys. What is Sean Strickland? A fucking influencer. All he does all day long is tweet and post fucking Instagram reels. And beat up Sneeko in the gym for clicks. You know what I'm saying? Sean Strickland is as much of an influencer as Sneeko or Neon. And he's as inflammatory as those guys too. But he wants to keep a little bit of distance from that world. To save face as far as his reputation goes. I don't know what his reasoning is for it. Probably just to be better than those types of people in his own mind. But, he goes out there and talks about how much he hates influencers when he absolutely is one. You watched the whole interview and you thought it was funny? All right. I mean, fair enough then. I guess some people do. I don't see much value in it to what Strickland does. I mean, very occasionally he'll say something funny. I'll always give credit where credit is due. If you make me laugh, then there's something clever to it. I will definitely give you credit. Henry Cejudo is a prime example of that. I think Henry Cejudo is one of the weakest, like, comedy games there may be, but every once in a while he comes out with some really funny shit. Not weakest comedy games, but more like legitimately cringe, and him leaning into the cringe does no favors to himself. Like, him trying, like, again, with Sean Strickland trying to get in front of the influencer status, it's like, you're not doing yourself any favors, bro. I see through it. Same thing with Henry Cejudo. Leaning into being cringe does not do you any favors, Henry. We all see through it. You're just cringe. Like, so, yeah. But, I whatever. They do their thing. I'm not going to hate too much. Although I did think it was pretty funny that I told Henry that I thought he was a legitimate weirdo. He posted a tweet at one point recently calling out Sean O'Malley after the loss to Marab, saying some shit about jerking off on camera and, like, having Sean's wife's boyfriend film it or some shit. And I was just like, bro, Like, I know you're trying to make like a joke about the whole cuck thing or whatever, but like that's just a legitimately weird thing to say to another man. Like, hey, bro, you should jerk it on camera and have some other dude film it. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, that's just a weird thing to say. I don't care what your intention is, like, or how you're trying to frame that. Like, that's a weird thing to say to somebody. I'm like, bro, you're a serious weirdo for that one, dude. And I know he saw that shit. So, Henry, you got to think these things through sometimes, bro. You got to think about your burns, you know? It's like sometimes you come up with some pretty like legitimately funny shit, but like other times you say some shit like that and I'm just like, bro, that's some weird shit, dude. All right, we got 20 minutes until the Ultimate Fighter starts here. Again, looking forward to this episode. I drank too much of my sparkling ice. I'm trying to make this last through the episode, so I need to stop drinking it, and I need to let the ice melt a little bit so I get more sparkling ice out of this, but I was thirsty, so not off to a great start with the drink. As you can see today, rare instance of a different flavor of sparkling ice, but I went with the strawberry lemonade today. Branching out. You know, new things happening left and right as far as the life of Thinker St. James goes. So, what else? What else is going on MMA-wise? I know that we have seen some pretty good knockouts over the last couple of events. That was always nice to see that. Only feminine men drink sparkling anything, bro? Well, you know what? Call me Thinkerette then, I suppose, because sparkling ice is delicious. I don't have many things that I truly enjoy like sparkling ice in life. So I'll take it. I'll take the feminine label on that one. Chael is obsessed with Connor's pee-pee. Did Chael say something about it? Oh no. What did Uncle Chael say? Did he make a video about it? Hold on. Chael, Sonnen, Connor. Let me see if there's anything new that comes up with this. All this stuff is old. He said you couldn't stop looking at it. Yes, he made a video. Oh, no. Chael. Oh, Uncle Chael, why did you do that? Hold on. Let me see if I can find this real quick. Chael Sonnen. What did he say? Chael's confused about Connor's dick pic. Oh, man. If this wasn't 10 minutes long, I'd watch it right now. But, all right. I will watch this, Rick Allen. Excuse me, Beeb. I just saw Rick Allen pop up. I will watch this at some point. I mean, bro, why are you looking in the first place? You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that we all have seen enough of the memes and, like, the edited versions of the photos that we don't need to, like, see the actual one, you know? But I guess people are interested. Damn, Rick Allen is on one, bro. Shout out to the homie Nav. Oh, that's hilarious, dude. Beeb, how funny is that? In the Discord right now, I don't know if you can see it on here, but Nav literally just posting Chael talking about it. That video must have just come out not too long ago. He later infers by this statement he thinks it's staged or maybe AI. I mean, what if Connor just has a big dick, bro? Like, I mean, it happens. Whatever. I mean, like... This is such an awkward conversation to have to be having at all. Oh my god. Chael said Connor added weights to it. I mean, that's like one of those things where it's like that goes back to that whole like jelking thing to make it look long. Oh, he said that the lifting weights thing was to make it look longer. I mean, I don't want to get into all of the specifics of this, man. This is like this is already territory that is uncomfortable to be speaking about out loud. But I mean, you know, there are ways to trick the camera a little bit. I don't know. Speaking of dongs, John Dong entering the chat. Hello, sir. How are you? What did you think about Connor's photo leak? Are you in the same camp as Chael Sonnen that perhaps it was AI? I'm good, man. Doing great, actually. Looking forward to this episode of The Ultimate Fighter. Maybe Connor's dick is going to make a guest appearance. Who knows? The photo leak is crazy. Yeah, the fact that it came from Azalea Banks is crazy. I don't know why he decided that was the person to do that to. Talk about picking the worst person on the planet if you think that you're going to keep that private. But it could have been, like, if it being staged, as far as, like, him knowing that it would come out, was the goal, that could be. Oh, geez, that's a username. Uselise something gmail.com. Thank you very much for following. Appreciate you. Welcome. It's all about the angle. Yeah, true. That's what I'm saying. It's about the angle. It's about the lighting. It's about hanging a 2-pound weight off of it. Just got home from the theaters. Watched the new Jurassic World movie. Oh, well, that's what's up. What'd you think? Is it any good? I've heard that it's trash, but I've heard that most of the modern Jurassic Park movies are pretty bad. So I liked Jurassic World a little bit until like the last maybe 20 minutes of it. And then I was like, what I said about like the new Jurassic World movie, or the not the new one, but the original Jurassic World, was that I wish that like the Jurassic Park shit had not actually happened, because I liked the idea of it just being a theme park with dinosaurs for real, and it just worked. I like the idea of like the dinosaurs don't get loose and fuck shit up. Like, it was cool. I thought that it was a dope idea for it to be like a working theme park with dinosaurs and everything just was going correctly. Gotta go. Stay safe, bro. Drop the like. Hey, Beep, thank you, bro. Appreciate you always, brother. Good to see you. Thank you for stopping by, ruffling some Rick Allen feathers and jetting. I appreciate you always. You thought it was pretty good. Plot was kind of generic. I'm sure that sounds about right. From what I've heard anyway, a little bit that I've been picking up online, it sounded like it was similar to Jurassic Park 3. No, 2, right? 2 was the one where they got into, like, out into public or whatever. Good riddance. All right. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, you know, like, it doesn't, the idea of dinosaurs running amok, I think, has been done to death at this point. I know that those movies got, like, crazy, off the rails in some of the other installments of that series, and I just don't really care. So that's the type of thing that if someone was like, hey, man, I got 2 tickets to the movies. You want to come with me? I want to go see Jurassic Park. I'd be like, all right, yeah, sure. But I'm never going to, like, go out of my way to see that shit. Diabetic 240 credit score, Rick Allen. Don't forget you have 2 dads. Beeb with the mic drop. Beeb really threw the grenade into the building and ran. He pulled the pin, tossed that bitch, and then went. But glad you enjoyed the movie, John. What would you give it out of 10, John Dong? To be fair, what else are you going to do in a dinosaur movie? It can either be about people going to an island with dinosaurs or dinosaurs escaping from cages. Yeah, no, you could do something different with that. You know what you really do? I'll tell you, John Dong. This might be the next Jurassic World movie. So you heard it here first. And this is not exactly a groundbreaking concept, so I'm not trying to say that like I'm galaxy brain for this one, but what you do next? Dinosaurs in space, bro. Gotta be. This is the type of shit. Well, because it's like if they're going this far where it's like, let's let dinosaurs just be out here with people and everybody's used to it by now. Then what's next? Mad scientists are like, bro, what do? We got to see how it is for dinosaurs in space. Imagine that shit. Fucking Stegosaurus on the International Space Station. I like that as an idea, though. Think about this shit. Think about how, okay, this is what happens, right? Movie maker St. James coming in real quick. The year is 2075. 2075, dinosaurs have been around on Earth for a while. Everybody's used to it. But they had a mass effort to eradicate dinosaurs from the Earth again. Because there's fucking too much shit up for human beings. No one likes them. They want no more dinosaurs. Life can no longer find a way. They inject them with some kind of kill DNA or some shit. So now the dinosaur population has dropped on Earth. But we still want the dinosaurs to exist somehow. We just don't want them fucking up human life all over the planet, right? So what they do is we've already colonized Mars by this point. We've got a full-on Mars colony, people living on Mars, no problem. They figured out the atmosphere situation or whatever. They've got a massive enclosure out there on Mars that's the size of, the entire continental North America is like the size of the compound on Mars. So the idea is we're going to take dinosaur DNA up to the massive Mars colony and have a new Jurassic World on Mars. That way, all of the people on Earth can chill and we don't have to worry about dinosaurs anymore, but we can still see dinosaurs whenever we visit Mars because travel between Earth and Mars is now possible on the reg. They have regular commuter ships warping to light speed and going between Mars and Earth. So you have dinosaurs on Mars, and then Jurassic Park just happens on Mars. And you have all kinds of wacky hijinks in space. Or then, if you really want to get crazy, you cross that shit over with the Aliens franchise, and now shit gets really off the rails. Think about the potential of that crossover. Fucking Jurassic Park and Aliens, where you've got xenomorph dinosaurs. I think I just created the greatest concept of all time right here, right now on stream. You're welcome, world. When Alienosaur comes out, Thinker St. James needs to get some money off the back end of that. I love this idea, honestly. I think that's a great idea. Or Denalian. No, Alienosaur I think is better. Thinker, shut up with your stupid movie concepts, you annoying piece of shit. Damn, Rick Allen. You really are angry today. Bro, chill the fuck out, dude. Don't be dissing my movie concepts. I'm giving you gold right now. Guarantee that when that shit comes out, I better get some fucking credit. It's a great idea for a straight B-movie concept. What do you think the modern Jurassic World movies are? They're just B movies with mad budget. I love this idea. And Rick Allen, I'm not going to let you drag me down to your level, brother. Andy, what's up? Nav the GOAT. The true GOAT has arrived, people. You hope it stars Tito Ortiz? Throw some jackals in the story. Jackals on Mars. Maybe that'll be the name of the movie. Jackals on Mars. Kind of a dope title, honestly. I'm spinning some gold right now, dude. Call me Rumpelfiltskin over here. Rumpelfiltskin. It's almost there. You know what I'm trying to say. Shut up. Straight to TV B-movie concept? Well, I'll get paid off of that either way, Rick Allen. I don't give a fuck. These are great ideas. Plus, some of the greatest movies are B-movie concepts to begin with. Something I liked about the new movie, though, was that it did its own thing. It didn't keep making callbacks to the original films. All right, well, that's good at least. We're coming up on 5 minutes before The Ultimate Fighter starts, by the way. Keeping everything on track here. I appreciate that. I appreciate that if that's the case. Have you ever watched a movie that isn't a superhero movie? Brother, do you think every movie on that shelf back there is a superhero movie? You don't think that some independent cinema is on there? You're barking up the wrong tree with this one, Rick Allen. I am a cinemaphile. I'm a cinephile. I am a lover of movies, my man. I've seen many, many greats. And can also appreciate some good schlock as well. Open your fucking mind. You ornery bitch. What the fuck is wrong with you today, dude? Beeb comes in and ruffles your feathers, and now you got to take it out on everybody else. Don't blow out my candle thinking that it's going to make yours shine brighter. Shout out to Jim Norton for that. Jim Norton on Tough Crowd used to crack me up with that shit. Don't take the wind out of my sails thinking it's going to steer your boat farther. Bro, I stand by it, though. Dinosaurs in space, that's the idea. That's the idea right there. That's $1 million idea. I want credit for whoever writes that. Guarantee you somebody's going to be watching the stream later on down the road. I want a created by credit. I want him to have to say in the opening credits, story concept by Thinker St. James, The Ultimate Fighter 33 watch along, episode 8. I want him to have the entire stream title in there. That'd be hilarious. You just have this really serious score going on, you know, the music is really tense. Do-do-do, do-do-do, based on a concept by Thinker St. James. The Ultimate Fighter watch along episode 30 or episode 8. That Beeb piece of shit is going to keep this same treatment, keep getting the same treatment every time if he wants to keep going with his stupid fucking comments. We'll do this every time. Hey, do whatever the fuck you want, bro. Just keep it within TOS. That's all that I ask. I'm amazed that you don't get in more trouble on YouTube, brother. But you do you. You and Beeb can duke it out all day long in there. I just have to sift through and find the actual legitimate comments worth responding to. That's my job. That's a job that I welcome. I love streaming. I really do. I love it. My favorite thing to do. All right, we are 3 minutes out. Still no feed going yet. Let's see if today's viewing experience is as shitty as it has been on ESPN Plus recently. I mean, the UFC event on Saturday was absolute trash as far as the presentation goes. The last episode of The Ultimate Fighter, also trash as far as ESPN Plus goes. You're amazed they even let my face appear on YouTube? Bro, they like my face so much that they had me do facial recognition to make sure that I am a legitimate non-AI human being. Which, as far as I know, I still am. Until we get into Blade Runner 2049 territory. There you go, Rick Allen. That's what you need, bro. You need an AI girlfriend. You ever thought about that? I know you're big into the whole AI is going to replace jobs thing. Maybe you should, get an AI girlfriend. AI companion. You could be like Joaquin Phoenix in Her. There you go. There's a little independent cinema for you. I also wish they would stop having kids in Jurassic World movies. We know they aren't going to be harmed. Not that I want to see that. Yeah, I mean, well, that's the whole thing with those movies in general, right? It's like, yeah, you'll probably get a character that dies or gets injured or something happens or whatever. You know, some somewhat main or secondary character. Kids probably getting out unscathed. That's the problem with movies in general nowadays, though, is that they don't take chances on anything. John, did you hear about that controversy with Superman where they had to take out a couple of scenes of the new Superman movie because like the dog got attacked by the villain or something. Like the Wonder Dog or whatever, Crypto the Super Dog is in the new Superman movie, and they had to take a couple of scenes out of it because apparently like test audiences didn't like that the dog like took a punch or something. Yeah, that's a real thing that happened. This Superman movie apparently is real controversial and weird or whatever, like as far as like people's perceptions go, but yeah, that thing with the dog, I'm like, bro, you can't even like have a CGI dog fighting a villain. Like, people are just soft with that shit nowadays, I guess. Great idea, bro. AI is gonna simulate a pussy exactly. That's what prostitutes are for, like your Nevada brothel girls. There you go. Don't act like you don't have those in Toronto, brother. All right, so yet again, oh, here we go. Okay. We've got all right, we've got feed going here. Mature language and graphic images. Yeah, the audio is out of sync again. But all right, feed has started. Audio out of sync yet again. But, all right, we are underway here. It's, like, not even worth watching this shit live half the time, bro. Like, this viewing experience is absolute trash on ESPN Plus now. Anyway, all right. Yeah, it's like the audio now has like cut back in and like caught up again finally. But like it just they have not figured out how to make this platform work proper. Oh no, it hasn't. No, yeah, the audio hasn't caught up. Yeah, they were just showing the "Do You Want to Be a Fighter" clip from Dana, and it was out of sync. This sucks. This is like really like Chase is doing it right by not watching it live, I feel. All right, whatever. We're going to have to deal with it. All right, shots of the Nevada desert. At the PI. Oh, yeah, that's the Ukrainian guy that won. Hell yeah. That's the American car salesman guy that won. That's Michael Chiesa. I know who he is. All right, we're circling up. We got a guest coach coming in. I forget who it was. They said who it was going to be last episode. Oh, Yair. Great. Wow. What a rousing response for Yair. Hopefully no one talks shit, right? Yair starts getting pissed off and starts wanting to fight some people here in the middle of the PI. Oh, that's hilarious. Yair telling people to keep themselves composed. Yeah, I always forget that Yair also a Ultimate Fighter alum. Yeah, wearing the Buletta poncho there. Yep, Yair, good on the Ultimate Fighter. Yeah, I will. To his credit, though, like Yair, that up elbow knockout of Korean Zombie is one of the coolest knockouts of all time. That really is. That was a dope fucking knockout. That was a stand and bang moment there. Both those guys were like, yo, you want to throw? Let's throw. And then Yair hit that up and over elbow. That was dope shit. Oh, God, yeah. Forget that he was champ at one point, too, huh? Interim champ, right? He never... Was he undisputed? I think he got the interim belt, right? Yair got silver. Yeah, getting elbow advice from Yair, probably not a bad thing. Hey, TJF, how's it going, bro? Good to see you, man. How you doing, brother? Hanging out at the minor league baseball again. Who's the team? What team were you seeing? Are you a big fan of the AAA team in your city or whatever? Good to see you, brother. Hope everything's good for you. You got a new car today. That is what is up, man. What kind of card you get? Congratulations, bro. Just the tin caps. Who are the tin caps? The tin caps. Fort Wayne tin caps. Okay. Shout out to the tin caps. MILB. What's your BTC at these days? It's doing pretty good. I actually just bought a little bit more. I saw it's surging, bro. Joe, I mean, credit where credit is due, Rick Allen. You definitely were correct about Bitcoin continuing to fucking soar to the moon. I saw it dipped a little bit. I was like, all right, I'm just going to throw some down. If it's going up to 120, this shit is just not stopping. So, yeah, Bitcoin's doing pretty good. 2012 Ford Focus, so nothing crazy. Hey, bro, that's fine, dude. If it's in good shape, looking clean, you know, if not run down, if you don't have to do a whole bunch of work on it, then that's solid, dude. Ford Focus will last you. I always personally recommend going with Toyotas just because I know Toyota, the engine is so dependable, but nothing wrong with a little American muscle. It's going up much higher. I'm holding for decades, bro. That's what's up. Yeah, no. I'm trying to too. That's why I want to buy more now. I just don't have a lot to spend on it right now. Had a 2000 Chevy Cavalier, so a bit newer. Nice. How many miles? This is my dog looking like a rat. Looking like a man. Shout out to Miss Swan. Can't do that anymore. Not in 2025, you can't. Look at this nice-ass house this guy has. Jesus Christ, this dude's house is fucking phenomenal. Yeah, this dude. This guy has... He's lap of luxury over here. This dude is like Islam Dulatov. 120,000 on the Cav. What about on the new one? Oh, shit. This dude's a fighting nerd? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Bro, do you like ramen? Yeah, absolutely I like ramen. I anticipate having to eat a lot of it over the next couple of months. Bianchini is the guy that we're talking about here now, and he is a fighting nerd over here. So, this dude might be the one. Brazil versus Brazil. It's going to be hard to root against a fighting nerd. I think 60,000 or so, but I forgot already. Hey, bro, that's fine, man. 60,000. If you're not driving cross country on a regular basis, you get a lot of life out of that. As long as that engine is clean, hopefully you got a you know, a car that's got good internals going on. Did you have to repair anything initially? Like, did you have any stuff that was already broken that you had to repair, or did you get it and everything was working fine? That's always the thing with me. Like, a lot of times you'll get a car used, and it's like you get a good deal on the car, but then it's like, oh, but all you got to do is fix this thing. And then it's like, all right, well, if all you got to do is fix that thing, how many more of that thing are there, All right, I am refreshing this real quick because we are at commercial. I want to see if this fixes the sync issue. I think it might have. Everything working fine, but the horn is broken? All right, I think that's acceptable. How difficult is it to fix a horn, I wonder? That's a Vitz King question. Shout out to the Vitz King. I miss you, bro. All right, it looks like they went back to the old way of doing the commercial delivery where it's embedded in the actual stream as opposed to it cutting to a different commercial feed. But either way, it was still out of sync anyway, so ESPN Plus still can suck some balls. Yeah, no, congratulations, TJF. I hope you like it. I hope it lasts you a long time. I'm going to be needing a new car at some point. I'm hoping to make mine last for a little while longer. Mine is running on some crazy mileage right now, but engine's still working fine, so keeping it going for as long as I can, I guess. Who do you have winning Poirier versus Holloway? We talked about this on the stream last night. I am rooting for Max, but in my mind, I think that Dustin probably will take it. Dustin has won both of the fights prior. Dustin is retiring, so he's wanting to go out on a win in his hometown. If it goes to decision, he's in his hometown. The crowd is going to be rooting for every single, swing that he throws. Like, this dude can fucking feint a stomp, and he's going to get a crowd reaction out of it. So, I think there's just too much going for Dustin in this fight. I think that Max is probably at this point in his career, like career for career, probably the technically better fighter. But I just think, I don't know, my gut's telling me to go with Dustin on it. So I'll go Dustin Poirier, even though he is an underdog, is honestly, especially because he is an underdog. And, see how that goes. But him going out on a win, I think, would be poetic justice, and it being in his hometown, the whole card being made for him. I think that there is, I think there's a lot of like positive factors going in his direction. Max is going to need to finish the fight to win. Also, Dustin looked pretty good, to be honest, versus Islam, and compared to getting KO'd by Ilya. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, totally. Yeah, Dustin was holding his own in the Islam fight for a while there. Obviously it didn't go his way in the end, but he was keeping it competitive into that, into the later half. All right. We get the story from the other side of the Ultimate Fighter competition here. This is the other Brazilian guy. I think he's a Canadian Brazilian. Who is that other Canadian Brazilian? That dude that fights at middleweight or light heavyweight? He was not good. This dude is tearing up because he misses his mom. I don't know if he misses her because she has passed away or if he just misses being with her. Oh, no, yeah, I guess his mom is alive. She doesn't know if I'm alive or not. All right, dude. No need to be emotional about being away from your mother for a little while, I think. You'll be all right. All good though. I don't have any, I don't get on people's cases about that kind of stuff. Oh, and there is his mom doing a little interview. Ah, see, this guy is fighting to give his mom a better life. Fuck it, man. Between the two of them, with other buddy, what the Barcini or whatever that guy's name is, I'm going for this guy. He's fighting to give his mom a better life. I support that. I support that. I'm working to try to give my mom a better life. How about that? Not that my mom doesn't have a good life. I'm just saying. Everything that I do is also for the fam. I got to give back to the fam. Oh, yeah, he's in Vancouver, Canada. Damn. That's a beautiful view in Vancouver, Canada. Vancouver, British Columbia. British Columbia, the British gem of the ocean, I've heard it said. All right. Training at Lions MMA. Bro went all the way from Rio de Janeiro to Vancouver, Canada. That's a quite extensive journey for some training. There's a whole lot of quality training in Brazil. I'm curious as to why he ended up in Canada. Seems like an odd choice, but I don't know. Story for story, I got to go for that guy. This dude over here living in the nicest house I've ever seen. Chael with the belt buckle. Chael with the Longhorn belt buckle. Yet again. Bianchini. Diego Bianchini is the other guy. Yeah, I'm going for Favela, dude. Why are there always kids at these training sessions? Get these kids out of there. Got kids running around the PI. But he is a fighting nerd, though, Diego. I don't know. It's going to be a tough one. We'll see what happens here. Chael is sold on Diego as a legitimate tough guy. A legitimate tough guy with a very gorgeous house that has a pool. I was listening to somebody talk about that recently. How many people have pools at all nowadays? It just seems like more and more houses are not being built with pools anymore. Yeah, this is a little bit of a grudge match between these two. For some reason, they don't like each other. I don't know if that drama was heightened for the sake of the Ultimate Fighter television show, but it is what it is. All right, commercial break here yet again. Getting closer and closer to fight time. We've got the stories from both of these guys now. You can choose which one you prefer. I think that the something from nothing story is always a little bit more compelling. I think that that's pretty standard thought process. Bro, they just repeated the same commercial back to back. Like, it didn't even, like, end. They literally just, like, repeated it. It's like a 15-second commercial that they just doubled. Anyway. Bro, I don't give a fuck if it's feminine or not. Sparkling ice is the shit. Delicious. Billy Bob Thornton in a T-Mobile commercial? What happened to that guy? You used to be Sling Blade. You used to be Sling Blade. Billy Bob Thornton, who used to get to bang Angelina. What a guy. Oh, man. You know what I really want bad? Is limited edition Star Wars Coke cans. Bro, my life is complete with some limited edition cans of sugar water. And there are people who are actually going to go out and buy that shit. Wonder how that dude with the world's largest Star Wars merchandise collection is doing. What does he do with all that shit? You know, does he just like hang out in his big warehouse full of Star Wars shit and just like look at it every once in a while? That's how I feel with my videos and stuff. Like, you know, I'll pull a DVD out and watch it. You know, I walk on the treadmill, watch a movie or whatever. But like for the most part, I just kind of like hang out with my tapes, just look at them. Just being happy that they're there. That's what I think that the Star Wars guy does. All right. We are back. Rodrigo is the dude from the favelas. Yeah, Rodrigo versus Diego. I don't know how you say his last name. He's got a crazy last name. All right. Bro, The Ultimate Fighter is literally just show a little bit of their life story and a bunch of training footage now. Like, this season has been so trash as far as entertainment goes. Like, there is nothing going on this season. DC having a heart-to-heart. Yeah, that was probably good advice from DC. Talking about rolling the shoulders. Talking about takedown defense. DC pulling double duty. He's in the middle of this heart-to-heart conversation. He has to just, you know, yeah, I think you're going to defend the takedown. Time! They're both well trained. They're both professional fighters. We don't need to see any more training footage. Like, how I swear to God that this season has been like 85% training footage. That really is legit too. Like, if you go back and watch these episodes, it has been so much of them in the PI, hitting pads, PI on the exercise bike, PI Working and drilling takedown defense. Fucking, PI with guest coaches. This has been, like, really devoid of entertainment. There you go. DC dropping some actual knowledge, saying that, oh, this is just fun for that guy. This is fun for that guy. It's like a sports car, he says. All right, here, we're in the house now. Let's get something entertaining out of this. Both sitting in the dining room, just kind of in each other's space. They can sort of feel each other's presence right now. Each waiting for the other one to talk shit. I don't like men's, bro. This dude really just said, I know you think I'm handsome. What? All right, this is the shit talk here. Bro, shout out to the homie Cody Gibson. He's a better shit talker than both these guys. Yeah, this is a rich guy versus a dude from the hood. See, Rodrigo making it about family now. That's how you turn it. All you have to do is bring family into the equation, and then you can really like rile it up. You elevate the trash talking experience when family is brought into the equation. Take the bonus. I don't think that they give a performance bonus on the Ultimate Fighter, or maybe they do. I don't know. Maybe like one guy gets it. Oh yeah, no, and shout out to Chase because yeah, fucking Diego with serious herp going on. I noticed it that time, Chase. All right, Diego Bianchini. I'm gonna hear how they say Rodrigo's last name. Hey, shout out to Roybert. Shout out to Andres. Andres Designs, the homie. $170.5. He makes weight. Diego is built like a fucking brick shithouse, though, for real. He is fucking muscular. Oh, I missed how his last name is pronounced. Fuck. All right, 170.5 for Rodrigo as well. Both of these guys making weight. Glad that we get to see this fight early. The two of these guys, bad blood going on. Let's see if pretty boy rich dude gets knocked out. I like that they both talk shit in English. Yeah, no herp going on now, but definitely in that confessional video, Diego with some serious lip bumpage. All right. Well, that shit talk was terrible. Nothing entertaining came from any of that. Hopefully this fight is good because this has been just abysmal as far as entertainment value goes. What is going on right now? Let's get to fighting over here, people. Yo, I can't be the only person who thinks that Maddie Matheson is annoying as shit, right? That big dude with all the tattoos that just yells a bunch as like a cook or whatever. Like, he's on a whole bunch of shit, and like, I just find him so fucking annoying. Ah! Oh my god! You're gonna cook the eggs! He reminds me of like a serious version of Rich Evans from Red Letter Media. Like, without the actual funniness. Like a cockier Rich Evans. Did this Brawny commercial just imply that you can't say lit at 40 years old? I take that personally. That shit is not lit. All right, little promo for the upcoming pay-per-view. Wow. They were going to have a commercial for the ESPYs, and they just cut it off right in the middle. Yeah, the ESPYs are tomorrow, but MMA fans don't have to watch it because we already know that Merab won. We talked about that on the show yesterday. Why the fuck did they do that? They just jumped the gun on the award show. The whole point of an award show is to find out who wins the award. I don't know. Whatever. So, shout out to Merab, Fighter of the Year. By the way, for anybody who's hanging out, after this watch along, if you jump over to Chase's channel, youtube.com/@CPSmalls, we will be watching this episode again over with Chase, and I'll hang out for a little bit of that. It's fight day, people. Finally, let's get to the fighting over here. Got 27 minutes left in the episode, so this might go to decision. Rodrigo Cezinando. All right. Rodrigo has arrived at the PI, at the Apex, that is. Diego has arrived at the Apex as well. Yeah, look at that lip, dude. Chase was not kidding. Now that I see it, I can't unsee it. This dude really said that he hates me because my family has money and I hate him because he's jealous. Damn. That's one way to win some fans. All right. I'm rooting for Rodrigo, but Diego is a fighting nerd over here. Hey, Colby wearing the fighting nerd's glasses. I guess right now the fighting nerds are not a bunch of bums and virgins and nerds and incels and blah, 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 blah. 318 is the most irrelevant pay-per-view in a long time. It's After going over it last night on the podcast, I think it's a little bit better than I was giving it credit for, but it's definitely not the greatest card on paper. The fact that you've got Paulo Costa and Roman Kopylov in the co-main event, that's pretty bad. If Dustin wins and actually retires, then the BMF title needs to go away too. Nah, I don't think so anymore, man, because I used to be against the BMF title. Like, I used to think that it was a dumb gimmick, but like after Max and Justin and the way that fight went down, I was like, maybe there is some value to the BMF title. If it makes people fight like that, then hopefully that's the fight that we get on Saturday. But it is a good question, though. If he ends up winning it and retiring, then who fights for it next? Who are they going to put up? You know, they got to find two guys that are game for the BMF belt at that point. All right. Fight time coming up here. Yeah. Rodrigo Cezinando versus Diego Bianchini. All right. 2 5-minute rounds. Kerry Hatley is your referee. That means that he is going to let it go until somebody's dead. All right. Fight's underway. No commercial break. I appreciate that. Rodrigo getting kicked. Diego coming out aggressively with some kicks. Oh, another nice kick up top for Diego. Oh, hook kick lands, but Diego ends up tripping. Rodrigo on top now. All right, locks him up on the ground, holding him down, trying to wear on him a little bit, get some of those jitters out, slow this guy down a little bit. Diego was very aggressive out the gate. All right, Diego pushes him off. Rodrigo back to his feet. Diego still on the ground. He gets back up. All right, Rodrigo getting a little anxious himself. Goes for a wheel kick that doesn't... Oh, nice switch knee. It looked like it landed too. But Rodrigo still in this, not affected by that knee. Trade low kicks. Another low kick for Diego. Inside leg kick for Diego. All right, Diego using the... Ooh. All right, Diego, he's got longer arms, so he's kind of like pawing out a couple of like little check hooks there to... Not really check hooks, but like just kind of using his arm to keep distance a little bit. Rodrigo getting past it. That's what Rodrigo needs to do, is just stay up in his face. So right now is good. He's kind of tangling up a little bit here. You got to cut off that distance and not let Diego have the range to throw those kicks. All right, Rodrigo gets kicked in the nuts. DC coaching while he should not be coaching. All right, they're back in. Diego goes for another kick. He misses. Rodrigo swings over top and gets tied up on the cage. Diego, tomahawk chop for Rodrigo there. That was kind of cool. Both these guys, they're trying a whole bunch. Oh, that was a nice trip for Rodrigo. I was just going to say that they're both trying a whole bunch, and they end up like they're like wildcats right now, but nothing like impactful is really happening except for that one knee from Diego. That was pretty nice. So far, I would say he's winning this round. 2 minutes, 15 seconds left in the round. Oh, nice entry with some punches for Diego. Oh, nice counter for Rodrigo. Oh, yeah, he might have hurt him with the counter. DC doing what he does on commentary, saying that he's hurt when he probably isn't. That's one thing about DC on commentary that is, I think, detrimental. And definitely DC as a coach, that's detrimental. You should never be yelling that this dude is hurt. Oh, he's hurt bad. He's hurt bad. It encourages your fighter to go in there recklessly. And if he's not actually hurt bad, then he can get your fighter ends up getting hurt, or could anyway. Diego holding up Rodrigo against the cage right now. Got the high crotch here. I mean, he could try to lift him, but oh, there he goes. He does try to lift him. Doesn't get it though. So I was just going to say, you can try to lift him, but it might not work. And Rodrigo reverses the clinch. Nice knee in the clinch for Rodrigo. That was nice. Gets a little bit lower. Trying to get this takedown here. He got one nice trip before. Let's see if we can get another one. Oh, he should have thrown an elbow there. Close range, brother. You had him set up perfectly for an elbow. He like loaded. Oh, that was a nice switch knee from Diego. Diego keeps landing these knees. It's a close round. Oof. Yo, really nice. Really nice timing by Diego there. He's starting to land some good shots here. Oof. Rodrigo goes for another kick that Diego gets out of the way of. Nice feint, but Rodrigo loading up on a shot. Does not get that. He was really loading up on it too. Oof. Nice spinning kick lands for Diego. Low kick for Rodrigo. They're definitely throwing. I appreciate this. Ooh, that was a nice shot for Rodrigo. Oh, Rodrigo's got him. He hurt him with a couple of those. Yeah, Diego's backing up. Yeah, Rodrigo's hunting for it now. Only 10 seconds left in the round. Ties him up on the cage. All right, they're going to end the round this way. That was a close fucking round, man. Jeez. Good shit. That was good. That was really good. Good two-way action in that round. Telling him to stop loading up. It's like, yeah, bro. I mean, he was really loading up on one of those shots. Rodrigo did a Morgan Charrier. Started his shot from New York City and landed it in Los Angeles. All right, round 2 coming up. Probably after this commercial break. Yes, indeed. All right, so one more commercial here, and we will get the rest of the fight. Shout out to all of the veterans out there. Anybody who served in the military. You know, much love and respect to all of those individuals. Thank you for your service. You know, Shane Gillis, I like Shane Gillis. And I know who really likes Shane Gillis is Bud Light. Good Lord, did that dude save that brand. Talk about a marketing pivot that had to happen with Bud Light. Bud Light tried to go woke, and that was a very stupid call. So what'd they do? They called up Shane Gillis to fix everything. And, you know, to their credit, it actually worked out. So shout out to Shane Gillis for being enough of an everyman to make that work. Yo, I don't know what this trend is right now or why this is happening, but like pickles are all over the place lately. Not just in Connor's selfies, but like there's literally on the highway going to the gig, there's a billboard for pickles right now. And I just saw a commercial for a pickle slushie. It's like, bro, I mean, pickles are good and all, but like, what is this new meta? Kind of wild. Yahweh, who won? The fight is not over. We are going into the second round. Diego and Rodrigo. It was a very close first round. Good two-way action. Kind of hard to say who won that first round. I think that all things considered, probably Rodrigo won it in the end, but it was like I had literally said halfway through the round that I thought that Diego was winning it. So it was a close round. Hard to say who the judges would say that took that round. So round 2 should be starting in about 15 seconds or so. I'll let you know the play-by-play here. But thank you for checking in. I'll keep you posted. All right, even quicker than 15 seconds. We are back. Round 2 starting right now. But yeah, Rodrigo had him hurt towards the end of the round. Let's see if Diego has his wits back about him. All right, round 2 is underway. Rodrigo pressuring early, goes for the oblique kick. Puts Diego on the back foot. Diego loading up with a little bit of a shot there. Overhand was a little bit telegraphed. Diego's got some nice kicks. Oh, nice oblique kick for Rodrigo there. Another one. Trading oblique kicks. I was talking on the podcast about how oblique kicks are the new meta. We're seeing them more and more lately. All right. Rodrigo keeping the pressure on. Yeah, the pressure is all there for Rodrigo right now. He's got him backed up against the cage. Nice shot for Diego. Can he get him down, though? No, nice defense by Rodrigo. Rodrigo doing some nice work. Ends up defending, and now Diego is on his back. Side control for Rodrigo. Trying to land some elbows here. He got one. This is perfect position for elbows, bro. Go for it. There you go. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, dude. Nice short-range elbow there. There's another one. Yes. Bro, you could spam those. Keep going. Diego fighting the hands a little bit to keep the elbows from raining down. But nice maintaining of the side control for Rodrigo. And he is really in perfect position for these elbows right now. Get that hand free. All right, now he's in half guard here. A little bit less of a good position for the elbows, but still doing some nice work and still maintaining control. This is all Rodrigo's round so far. I think Diego was definitely still hurt coming into the second round. Rodrigo just smothering right now. Stay active, brother. Yeah, elbows. The corner's calling for elbows. That's exactly what he should be doing. Diego just tying his arms up. This is terrible for Diego right now. He really needs to get himself back to his feet. The position of his body is not great right now because he doesn't really have the ability to crawl himself back to the cage. He either needs to try to work his leg under and get a butterfly in there to buck him off, or turn his body and start shuffling himself towards the cage. But like the position he's in right now, his head is towards the center of the octagon. Rodrigo. DC telling him not to pass. I don't know why. He looked like he had a head and arm set up. But I guess DC just wants him to keep raining down some shots. There you go. That was a couple nice ones. All right, Rodrigo back to his feet. Choosing to go back down to the mat. I would have said stand him up. Why are you going back down into the guard of this dude? Diego trying to set up like a triangle, but nothing doing. Diego looking gassed, bro. That's the problem right now. Oh, nice elbow. Rodrigo definitely the more fresh fighter right now. I don't know why Rodrigo doesn't just let him get back to the feet, honestly. I think that he's gassed. He's having to work a whole ton right now. There's under 2 minutes left in this round. Oh, Diego trying to set this triangle up again. He's got the one leg up. He's pulling his foot inward. He's too close to the cage for this to be effective right now, but he is close enough to the cage that he can get himself back to his feet. He should let go of this triangle and just get up. He has his own last name tattooed on his leg. Interesting choice. Rodrigo is putting in that work right now, dude. He is maintaining control. Nice close range elbows. Not super heavy, but just effective enough to be active. I really don't understand why Rodrigo is not just letting him get back up to his feet at this point, though, because he's so tired. He would probably be able to knock him out on the feet if he let it happen. Yeah, Diego's got nothing in this round, dude. If the judges gave Diego the first round, then this might go to the third, but I don't think that he won that first round personally. Oh, nice elbow there. There you go. Yeah, DC is screaming for elbows right now. Another nice one. Yeah, there you go. Bro, you are in such good elbow position. Throw them bitches. Throw those bows. Channel your inner Ludacris. Bro, ground and pound all day over here, bro. You're in prime position for it. Rodrigo needs to be a little bit more active here. Because he could cut him with these elbows at this position. There you go. There you go. That's good. Oh, he did cut him. Mystic St. James. Yeah, he did cut him. Oh, he's leaking now. Yeah, one of those elbows cut him. Diego leaking. Diego leaky. All right, end of the round. Let's see if they want to take this to a third round. I don't know if it's going to be necessary. Personally, I think he won both rounds. Let's see what the cuts look like. They're patching up Diego right now. Oh, the cut was on the bridge of the nose. Okay. Yeah, dude. They're saying you want to get to the UFC, you got to fight with heart. I appreciate that advice. Because he didn't fight with heart whatsoever in that round. Diego looked atrocious in that round. He was so gassed. We got a decision? All right. Yeah, hell yeah. We got a decision. Good. Yep. Chael already knows. All right. Rodrigo wins. Well deserved. The man from the favela gets it. Diego's still leaking out the nose. That's a nasty cut on the nose. They tried to patch that thing up, but that thing is open. Hell yeah. Good work. Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm happy for Rodrigo. I like him. I think he's got a good story. And he fought great. Yeah, that was a crazy first round, though. Diego definitely came out strong. Like, he was very aggressive. I thought he was winning the first half of the round. But Rodrigo ended up rocking him a little bit later in the round. And he definitely expended all of his energy in that first round. He didn't have anything left in the tank in the second. Yeah, good for Rodrigo as well to have the chin to take some of those knees and the kicks that Diego was throwing, because Rodrigo was getting touched with some of that stuff, and he didn't let any of it affect him. No, yeah, that was a good fight. Yeah, they've shown the replay of that nice counter shot in the first round for Rodrigo. That was the one that stung him a little bit. I don't think that he was as rocked as DC said he was for the first shot that hurt him, but later on towards the end of the round, he definitely was getting kind of wobbly. And then you could tell how gassed he was, because he was on his back, and talk about accepting position. Trying to throw up a triangle was never going to work. He had nothing left in that second round. Yeah, Dana not too happy about that, but I liked it. I thought that first round was great. Second round, yeah, not as much activity, but dominant for Rodrigo, who did great in the first. So all good by me. Yeah, I'm happy about all that. That was just fine. And they hug and make up at the end, of course. They don't like each other. They're talking shit. But at the end of the day, they're just fighters looking to do their thing. No real bad blood. It's all for TV. Team DC kicking ass over here. Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, man. Team Chael not graduating a ton of winners this season. There's been a couple, but 8 episodes, and I think that they've won maybe 2, or 2 or 3. So far so good for Team Cormier. All right. The semifinals have concluded. Semis underway here. They're going to be choosing their fighters. You know, they go in and they talk it over, DC and Chael. Do the matchmaking. Yeah, they talk to these guys a little bit. Say, hey, who do you want to fight? How you feeling? I like this part of the show, actually. Oh, this dude wants to fight Imanol? Holy shit. That's gangster right there, because Imanol is like, that dude is legit good. Like, everybody wants to fight Rodrigo for some reason. I think they all think he's an easy fight. Ukrainian homie just says, I trust you guys. I like the Ukrainian dude. He's the dark horse of this season, bro. I want the Ukrainian guy to win. I like this guy. He's got a good personality, comes from a legitimate war zone, still keeping in good spirits. You know, smile on his face at all times. Terrible beard, just like your boy. I see a lot of myself in the Ukrainian dude. All right, Alibi from Uzbekistan, I want to say, I believe. Who's he going to be fighting? All right, Alibi is fighting Roy. I forget. Oh, Roybert was last episode. Hell yeah. I was going to say, I forgot his fight, but yeah, no. He was last episode. That's Andreas' his homeboy. Go, Roybert. All right, Imanol. Who is Imanol fighting? Because like I said, Imanol is like, I think Imanol is probably going to win this. Oh, yeah, Joseph Morales. He was first episode. He got that knockout quick. I like that fight. Oh, that's going to be a good fight, honestly. I like that one. But Imanol is real, bro. Imanol is real deal, dude. He's everything that you think about when you think about a Mexican fighter. That dude he is tough. He is technically proficient. He is fast. Powerful, bro. Bienvenido Mexico, pero. All right. Matt Dixon. Liked his fight. He looked pretty good. Are they going to put him up against the car salesman? Oh, no, they're putting him up against Danilo, the Ukrainian. Oh, come on. Go, Danilo. Danilo is my dude. I'm telling you, he's the dark horse right now. Fellow Redbeard. Danilo is my guy. I want Danilo to win, bro. Like, I swear. Like, that would... it is so unlikely that it's going to happen, but I still want it really bad. All right, Jeff the car salesman. Yep, don't leave Chael hanging. And Rodrigo, who just fought. All right. Civil War, as they say, both team DC. I think Jeff is going to take that fight, man. Jeff is pretty good. We knew this would happen. Good guys. Jeff is a good guy, too. Like, he's one of those dudes that's like, yeah, it's nothing personal, man. You know, I don't dislike you. I just want to fight. I like Jeff. As I said, Jeff is the used car salesman, but he's actually going to take care of his clients. He wants to sell you a quality vehicle at a good price. All right, we got Coach's Challenge next episode. Let's see how boring that ends up being, considering how boring everything else has been on this episode, on this season of the show. Are they playing pickleball? Oh, God. All right, maybe there'll be something funny in this. Oh, they're pickleballing. And both of them suck at pickleball. All right, that could be funny. Maybe we'll actually see something funny in that. Oh, Alibi is from Kazakhstan. Sorry, not from Uzbekistan. All right, Roybert and Alibi next episode. I'll have to tell my boy Andres that he is coming up. Shout out to Andres. Shout out to Venezuela. And that will do it for this episode of The Ultimate Fighter. We did it, people. And now you get a promo for the pay-per-view that gets cut off by a different commercial. Anyway, yeah, like I said, that is going to do it for this episode of The Ultimate Fighter. You know, fine. I thought the fight was pretty good. Dana not super happy with that second round. Whatever. I thought it was fine. Shout out to Rodrigo getting the job done, doing it for the favela. So, Yahweh, your question is answered by Rodrigo Cezinando winning that fight. And I guess that's going to do it for this watch-along. Thank you very much to everybody who was hanging out. Appreciate you guys. TJF, Rick Allen, even though you're a bitch. Beeb, always the homie. Yahweh, appreciate you checking in. And, yeah, that will about do it, everybody. Have a great rest of your night. A great rest of your week if I don't see you. Keep an eye out on the channel because me and Chase might try to do the review of the KO movie this week as well. Michael, thanks for the show, you jerk. Michael, why don't you check in earlier, bro? You come in at the very end, man. You know I'd be chatting with you if you came in earlier. I appreciate you, brother. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for chilling, bro. Chilling in the background. I appreciate you always, you lurker. Take care, everybody. Have a great rest of your night, great rest of your week. Like I said, keep an eye out for the KO movie review coming up soon. That's the Cyril Gahn movie. Myself and Chase are going to be watching it. We might try to do it tomorrow. If not, maybe on Thursday. But we're going to try to get that done this week. And, you know, just keep an eye out for new stuff on the channel. Always coming up. And, of course, we'll be here on Saturday for the pay-per-view. So take care. Have a great rest of your night. Great rest of your week. And, as always, fight on.
Game.